It is a betrayal. Hello, beautiful human. Welcome to the Gemini Bae Cross Watchers Only reading. I am Princess India if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. And what's not or whatever. If you're not familiar with what the Cross Watchers Only reading is, it is a reading that I do for people out there who may be dating in a relationship or some other kind of entanglement going on with a Gemini person, and you're trying to get some insight and some clarity into you guys' situation and whatnot or whatever. But I've heard through the grapevine being my comments, you know what I'm saying, that sometimes these can be reversed so they can resonate vice versa. And sometimes they may be talking about friends and family members. So get in where you fit in, my friend. So anywho, let's go ahead and jump into your cards for November 15th through, wait, I was going to say October 15th, November 15th until December 15th, my friend. And I already know my kid is outside riding bikes, so he's probably going to ring the doorbell because he lost his key, but enough about my problems. Moving right along. So the first card that we have, this keeps popping up. We have the Star in the reverse. It's Aquarius energy. Then we have the Strength in the reverse. That is Leo energy. Okay, all major arcanas, cross watcher. That's not weird. Then we have the Justice card, which is Libra energy. Okay, this is interesting. Okay. Cross watcher person dealing with a Gemini. Okay, I'm gonna just get straight to the point. The first vibe that comes to me is there's this dire desire for my cross watcher, hoping that this Gemini person receives their karma. More or less, the thought would be, hopping back to the Strength in the reverse, in the past, it's more or less coming to a place with this person, something occurring that made you feel completely out of control and completely disempowered, almost as if you were out of control of your life. That literally, if we were to say that in more 3D terms, that would be like a betrayal. Like usually in situations such as this, I say the rug being pulled from under you, but I feel like it's a lot graver than that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the rug being pulled from under you, as well as being kicked while you were down. And I feel coming into this midpoint of November, the cross watcher is still kind of trying to find their footing again. But I feel like whatever it is that transpired here is so out of left field that it's feeling, and I don't even want to say hopeless there, because that would make me very sad. It would be like ultimate sadness, dude. It would be like being in a very dark place. If we were to talk about this in the 5 stages of grief, okay, even breakups, divorces, and things of the sort fall into this realm of the 5 stages of grief. A lot of people don't know that there's a grieving process that you go through post relationships. So this would kind of be being in this place of where you're transitioning from like bargaining or sadness into like anger type of deal. And I think that's where this desire for this person doing right by you, or them getting their karma, or this being justified type of deal. And it's an interesting position to be in, because it's one of those situations where we end up being like judge, jury, and executioner type of deal. It's like, this person wronged me, you know, all kinds of horrible things should befall their life because they deserve it, and so on and so forth. But it's really coming from a place of feeling disempowered and misled. And it's understandable. You know what I mean? Because this is kind of reminding me, as how all the readings remind me of each other since I started doing them in order. What I said for, was it Taurus? It was either Taurus or Aries. I think it might have been Aries. But it was kind of like being in this energy where it's almost like not wanting, I just have to say it the way I said it. I was trying to make it sound nicer, but it's just feeling justified and feeling how you feel. And the thing I want to say here is, I don't want to say that that's wrong, because it's normal to feel that way. You know what I mean? It's like when a person hurts you that way, this is a total normal emotional process. The only thing that I say I'd be concerned being, an observer of said situation is not getting too lost in that vibration, because this is kind of like the fast track to bitterness and disempowerment, where, granted, not saying that what the person did wasn't, horrible or mean or selfish or what have you. But the thing is, you don't want to get to a point to where either one, you feel extremely hopeless and powerless. And then on the other side, you don't want to allow yourself to get to a point to where you're so blind with like rage, resentment, bitterness, and things of the sort that it's like you're just wishing complete ill on this person, because by default, your life ends up becoming about them as opposed to it being about you, right? But that's still not in any way justifying whatever it is that they've done here. Now, we have these are their cards. We have the Four of Wands. We have the Five of Wands. That's my Petty LaBelle card there. And we have the Moon. So here's the thing. There's Pluto energy with this Four of Wands here. And with the Moon, and this is interesting because the full moon in Gemini is on the 30th of this month. Wow, it's a lot of stuff I'm seeing here. Here's the deal. With your Gemini person, this person is projecting a great deal. Because of course, I don't know how that was coming out of my mouth just now. Of course, when we talk about Pluto, or we're talking about the Moon card, we're talking about projections, and we're talking about the subconscious mind. Whenever a person has not done personal work, when a person has not healed, they have unfinished business with their past, and they are still fighting the same fight that they've always fought with everyone. So that even goes into attachment styles as well. Any of you who are familiar with attachment styles, I love how this Gemini reading is just so psychological. But those of you who are familiar with attachment styles, there's different types of attachment styles. There's one that's it's disorganized. A person has a disorganized attachment style had, not a consistent connection with their parental figures, where there was parents who were kind of in and out their life and they had an unstable childhood. And a lot of times when people get into this space of having disorganized attachment, that starts to manifest in their relationships as well. So everything always becomes a fight, but it's in two different ways. If something has absolutely nothing to do with the person, they're just petty. It's like they stir the pot, they create chaos and drama. There could be a disagreement between two people, and they're the ones who kind of throw gasoline on the flames. You know what I'm saying? Because they get rise out of that. You know what I'm saying? But then they're also the same person who kind of throws a brick and hides their hand, and it's just like, all I want is stability. Like, I don't like chaos. It's like drama and chaos just somehow seem to follow me all the time. I'm just defending myself. You know what I mean? But the inner workings of that is, with this person, as with all of us, we're all trying to resolve unfinished business from our childhoods, our past, what have you, right? But when a person is not aware of that, they will continuously live out these past scenarios with people, right? Now, taking all of this that I see with your person of interest as Gemini person, or if it's flip-flopped, wherever you fit in, but taking that into account with you guys' cards, it's completely understandable as to why you guys would feel like this. I feel more or less, and this is something I felt with another sign too, it might have been Aries again, or Aquarius, it was somebody, but the person that was dealing with them, they were making this person's behavior about them, and it's not about you. Like, this person is doing their stuff, and something, if you guys have been with me for a while, y'all know this is my favorite quote to always share. How other people treat you says more about them than it does about you. And that's just the reality of life, because especially when somebody has not done any form of personal work and is not self-aware, people are projecting on everyone all day long and are not aware that they're doing it. So it's like, in their head, it could seem like you're attacking them, or that they're protecting themselves from you, or you're treating them like their mom or their dad subconsciously, but they're not consciously aware that this is going on. So what ends up happening, which is so ironic with how the subconscious works, And those of you who are familiar with how I do the extended, it's the reason why I have a card that speaks to a person's subconscious and what they're projecting onto you, because it's just the way that, like, this is like a whole TED talk. This is the way like the lens in your eye works, you know? It's like when we're seeing stuff, we're actually seeing it upside down, but I think it's your retina, you know? I'm a therapist, y'all, I ain't no doctor. But it's like, I think it's your retina, the thing that's in the back of your eye. It's like that works as almost like a projector screen, or if you think about a camera, like the lens or whatever, it's like it bounces it from upside down to like right side up. So that's how we can see everything, not upside down, but the way that the information is taken into your eye is upside down. It's very similar to how a projector would work, like an actual like movie projector, the old school ones, the same way that cameras work. You know, and it's the same way the subconscious mind works. It's like, but it's in the reverse. So this person is seeing something that they've experienced in their past and they're projecting it onto their life. So consciously, they see you standing in front of them, but subconsciously, because the subconscious mind is very primal, it just deals with vibes, feelings, and, you know, similar circumstances, symbolism, and things of the sort. So if this person hypothetically has issues with their mother, right? And you being a female or a feminine figure in their life, right? And I don't know, it could be something like, it could literally just be being a female. It could be the fact that y'all wear the same perfume or something like that, which would draw them to you in the first place. They're going to project all this negativity from their past onto you, and they're not aware that they're doing it because they're operating like reptilian, primal, instinctual type of stuff. So even though, like, I think from you guys' perspective, looking at this person, you could see this person crystal clear. And part of the reason why I feel like you would feel like the rug is pulled from under you, because you're not understanding. It's like, you're so confused. Like, I never had ill intentions with you. I never tried to hurt you. How could this person possibly do this to me? And then it's this issue of, like I said, this grief, but then it turns into anger because you feel foolish that you trusted them and you don't understand. So it's just like a whole bunch of emotions that are bubbling up in so many words, which is completely justifiable of you wanting them to be punished. Because it's like, how could you do something like that to someone like me? So I totally understand that, and there's nothing wrong with that, because that's total normal human emotion. But this person, I feel like it's almost like in their mindset, like they're just oblivious that any of this is going on. I need to pull more cards, child. This is making my blood pressure go up. Goodness. But I can already tell you, even before I turn these over, this is yet another one of those situations, and a lot of the readings this month have followed the same process of people needing to be clear of the type of situations that you're getting into. It's like, and I said before, it's like trying to get blood from a turnip. You can't get blood from a turnip because it's a turnip, and turnips don't bleed. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with this person. A lot of times in these cross-watcher readings, I've seen people who are consistently trying to get stability, security, harmony, and reciprocity from people who are completely self-serving. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I always like to say is, if you want to borrow $20 from me and I only have $5 in my bank account, how am I gonna give you $20 when I only got $5? I could want to give it to you with my whole heart, but babe, I ain't got it. I'm gonna have to overdraft. You know what I'm saying? And the bank ain't gonna let you overdraft. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, some banks will. If your bank lets you do that, you can get you another bank. But anywho, but if I only have 5, I can't give you 20. But that's like, and I said that I think in Taurus's reading, this is a lot. And I'm looking at the clock and it's 5:55. But anyway, that's talking about major changes and shifts and things. But anywho, I said that in the Taurus reading, it's like a lot of times you have to keep in mind that you're 100% spirit and you're 100% human. No, that was an Aries reading, because it was the whole twin flamey thing. That you're 100% human and you're 100% spirit. And if you want to walk the middle road of what this whole spiritual evolution thing is about, you have to be cognizant of both sides of yourself, and you can't negate either. When you're thinking about the fact of meeting a person, and granted, you can feel a whole bunch of stuff, just like you can see a lot of potential in a person. But even those of you who are out there that work as a mental health professional, we all know we can see all of the potential in a person, have all of the resources to help a person, but we can't help a person unless they want to help themselves. You know, I always say the first joke that they tell you in graduate school is how many therapists does it take to change a light bulb, right? And the answer is none, because a light bulb has to want to change itself, you know? So even though you could have the best intentions for a person, if they don't have those intentions for themselves, you can't love a person out of their pain. That's something that a person has to do by themselves and for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, whew, we have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. Whew, we have the Judgment in the reverse. That's Pisces energy. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. So with this Judgment in the reverse being here, it's a card that's all about rebirth and transformation. Of course, if we put this within the context of a relationship, it's more or less, I wouldn't doubt with you guys either. Because Gemini is yet another one of those dual signs like Pisces and Sagittarius. But one of the big, and then it's buku stuff. One of the biggest things here, and it doesn't matter what your sign is, cross watcher. One of the biggest things is here, a huge lesson I see a lot of people have been, you know, coming to learn, even going back to the readings from last month. So we're talking about like the midpoint of October all the way into November. And that's probably the reason why I slipped out and said that. If you're a new subscriber and you didn't watch the Cross Watchers Only readings from October 15th to November 15th, I suggest you go back and watch those, and even watch a soul session from last month too. Because with that whole energetic shift that happened on the 31st with the Taurus new moon, that is a foretelling of a new age that we are going into. It's a major karmic cycle that's ending for a lot of people. However, what I know big picture is people who are on the spiritual path and spiritual journey, spirit uses romantic relationships a lot of the time to to teach you very vital spiritual lessons. Because that's something everybody will sign up for. No human being on earth, aside from, you know, a few people who are just like bump that and people who are like bodhisattva level, most people desire to be in romantic connections, to share your life with someone. That's totally normal. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But because everybody is in the proverbial line for a partner, it's like while you're waiting, you know, to fulfill your purpose and all these other kind of things, heal and ascend, let's throw some lessons up in here through your romantic relationships. So even with a divine connection with a person, that's still a lesson that's intended to learn. And I think the biggest mistake a lot of people make is when you have a divine connection with a person, it's this thought that you and this person are supposed to be together forever. That's not always the case. It's not saying that it's not the case in your particular situation, but that's not always the case. Sometimes this whole soul tie you have with a person is for the sole purpose of the two of you learning this lesson. However, if the other person doesn't do the work and you do, it's not that you're like just bound where you're going to be stuck with somebody who didn't do the work. It's like once you learn the lesson fully, it's like that would be severed. And I feel like that's the place everyone is. It's almost coming to this crossroads of where it's using practicality to make these decisions. See how I'm bringing it back around? It's using practicality to make these decisions. It's not saying that there isn't a spiritual connection, because clearly there is. However, if this person, much like I said with the Aries reading for this month, it's like if this person has not progressed and they've only regressed in the last year or 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you know what I'm saying? And you're still wanting stability and security from this person that's not putting any work on themselves. It's like, that's where you have to marry your spirituality to your practicality and say, well, if I want stability from this person and they're unstable, it's like, you know, you can't, 1 + 7 isn't 2. You feel what I'm saying? So the whole thing that I see is, especially with this 8 of Pentacles, you guys are desiring to put in the word of connection. But it's like with this person, they're not doing anything. It's like they're very much stuck. They're still stuck in their past a great deal. Like this person is like walking chaos and calamity, you know? And with the 7 of Swords in the reverse, underneath all of you guys' past energy, it is a betrayal. It's some truth that you found out with this person and it caused a big uproar. And I think a part of that, a lot of the anger that you guys felt, is because one is not wanting to accept the potential that this person may not be, or that you may not marry this person, or this person isn't your end all be all, or this may not last forever, or that this person lied to you. It's like a sense of feeling self-betrayed and feeling betrayed by the person. But this all goes back to information that came out about this person. And, you know, regardless of what your sign is, or if you want to look at the cross watchers only for Gemini for last month, I don't really know what I said. I'd be lying if I said I remembered, because I don't. But that may offer you like some additional clarity. But I really believe somewhere around the midpoint of October, all of this stuff started to go down or to unravel. You know what I mean? And then it's like, I even feel like the face this person is showing you is almost as if they straight. You know what I'm saying? But with them, it's almost as if them taking the stance that they've taken, this is an opportunity for transformation for you guys. But the way it's looking with them at present, they're not taking it because they're not facing themselves, right? But you still have the opportunity to elect if you want to take full advantage of this. Because I feel for cross watchers, it's like this whole connection is acting as a block for you. Because for my cross watchers, dude, and I mean, and I still be telling y'all, if you a Gemini, unless you dating another Gemini, you don't need to be in here. But if you are one of my subscribers as a Gemini, you watching this anyway with your rebellious self, 9 times out of 10, this is flip-flopped. And this person I'm talking about is the person that you guys were dealing with. But the beautiful thing I see with this dude, this is an epic cycle ending for you all. Especially if this is a Gemini person that's subscribed to me, that is watching this when you're not supposed to anyway. Come get your word, babe. Because of all of the work that's been done on yourself, it's like, I believe with this person, your intentions were good. And I'm saying this for cross watchers and for Geminis that's in here that subscribe to me that shouldn't be in here in the first place, but that's neither here nor there. But it's more or less you guys are standing on the cusp of a new age, but it's imperative for you to learn the lesson in reference to this, which I believe it's more or less focusing less on what the person that you're dating or people you've dated in the past, what they've done to you, and really backtrack to why it is you elected to date this person in the first place. What was it that drew you to them? Why is it that you put so much work into other people who aren't willing to put that much work into themselves? It's like sometimes you have to call a spade a spade. It doesn't make you a horrible person. It just makes you wise. You know what I'm saying? It's like I always say too, if it walked like a duck and it quacked like a duck, it's probably a duck. You know, it's not that it makes you a nice person to say, well, I mean, it walks and quacks like a duck, you know, but how dare I just judge and say that this is a duck? You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to be realistic about what it is that you're looking at. But I feel like how I said in the beginning, it's so important to not get to this place of hopelessness for your future or get to a place of like revenge, because that ends up becoming a block for what it is that I see that spirit is trying to bring into you guys' life. You know what I'm saying? But the jacked up part is your person of interest had that same, or has, I don't want to say had, they have this same opportunity, but we have free will. And it's like, it's going to have to take them to face their shadow and go through this whole, you know, like deep dive, you know, self-awareness work and all that good stuff. They're going to have to go through the same process that you guys are going through in order to overcome this. But how it's looking now, they're still very much entrenched, you know what I'm saying, in this energy, in their own stuckness, you know, and their own projections. So that solely is up to them. Ooh, child. At the bottom of the deck is the 5 of Swords. Whew. I don't know what's going on with this. Y'all gonna have to tell me in the comments, because if the 5 of Swords at the bottom of the deck, dude, it's like this is rage. Like this is anger and rage bubbling up inside of a person. And I don't really necessarily feel it on the Gemini person side. It's like with them, they just, because it's like the vibe I get with them, dude, it's like they're fronting. But I know that it's like almost like they're doing that to upset you. It's like, that's why I say it's pettiness. It's like they're trying to paint this picture as if you missed out on something. Like, oh, you know, my life's so happy and I'm so better off without you type of deal. But it's like, they're no different than they were before, because they haven't changed. They haven't done what needs to be done to change. And I think with my cross watchers, dude, and like I say again, flip flop it where need be, but for my cross watchers, it's like, it's feeling so violated. Because this is almost like a person who, like, say if you and this person got like divorced or something, or if y'all broke up and they went and got in another relationship and they're parading the other person around as if they're so happy and like throwing it in your face, and you know that you really didn't do anything to hurt this person. And it's like being devastated by that. And I mean, rightfully so, that would make anyone angry. But I'm just saying, dog, please don't act on it, because it's like they're doing that for the sole purpose of trying to get to you. And that's effed up for a person to do that. Like that's just wrong. You know what I'm saying? But going forward, it's really looking like my cross watchers need to be focused on themselves and getting yourself back to stable ground, because the stability you're looking for, you ain't gonna get it from this person or the situation. So anywho, it's a lot going on. I'm going over to Vimeo, Patreon, YouTube members, and my website to do you guys extended. We're going to look at how this person thinks and feels about you, if you care. So if you're about that life, follow me over there. If not, I still love your face, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends. You know what I'm saying? Love your face.